what makes Jordan really unique is the bluffs, the creek, the old stores and buildings that we have in town. There's some beautiful architecture, very unique, and right now we're looking at trying to come up with plans to revitalize the downtown. It's got the creek itself has it's considered a Class 3 rapids in the spring, so we get a lot of kayakers. We have the mill pond and the falls right downtown, and it's just a beautiful amenity that's not very well utilized, so we're looking at ways to help that revitalize our downtown. And one of the other things that we're looking at that I think CGO really brings to it is it gets us organized and focused, and looking at how we can take some of the settings we have without, tearing everything up, and actually coming up with a plan that would work for our downtown and make it more walkable, parkable, make the shops more user-friendly. Those are the kind of items that we saw in some of our workshops with CGO that I really think will help draw the community together and provide a walkable downtown. We have a ballpark that's right off our downtown, and there's a nice little greenway that comes right up to that. And I think all of that just kind of draws it all together and makes it connected. And then some of the trails and some of the walking paths and some of the biking paths that we're looking at, multi-use trails that we're looking at, I think will really add a lot of nice amenities to the community. For me, I think the long-range goal, and I think that's where CGO is really helping us, is we're looking at some of these buildings and we're trying to tie them together, and some of them don't quite match with the existing buildings. And so as a long-term goal, we're looking at how you can change your ordinances so you can design buildings that will fit in with the current designs and still add to the character that's there. So we'll have some old and some new. Also, we're looking at the same thing will be the trails that could possibly link us to the Minnesota River. We have miles of trails down there, and a nice greenway coming from our downtown down to the Minnesota River, I think would be a huge, huge boost to the downtown. And a lot of that is a long-range plan, because we don't really have any developers right now that are looking at that, but we want to write that into our ordinances and part of our design standards. And to me, that's a big deal for us, and CGO has been a big help on that. Well, as part of the 2030 plan, you start looking at how your housing is going to go in. And currently, what I'm looking at for Jordan is developing with some of the ideas that CGO has. We're actually going to come up with a community that I think will benefit Jordan greatly, because Jordan is kind of stuck between a highway and creeks and railroad tracks, so it makes it very difficult to develop in the conventional way. And I think that these ideas that are coming out of CGO are very beneficial in developing a community that is connected together. Otherwise, we're going to end up with urban sprawl, and it's going to require us getting in our cars to drive somewhere. This will actually connect us with trails and green space and make it a very livable and walkable community. The benefit for me, I think, is really the sense of community. I think Jordan has a really good sense of community, and I think as you develop, sometimes that sense of community gets lost in the rush to develop. And when I look at the ways we're looking at CGO, we're kind of incorporating some of the old with the new, and some of that is just getting back to the basics with the green space and the connectedness. And to me, that's about family, community, and I think it all ties into with our ballpark downtown and our old town scale. All that is just a beautiful amenity for growth. I think for the city of Jordan, it's a huge learning curve. It's a little bit of thinking outside the box when you look at development. Some of it's actually hands-on, getting out there and looking at the site. But I think we're looking at something that everybody will be happy with when we're done. And that's something that I think all the people in Jordan would really enjoy, is when we get these developments done, they'll look like they belong there, and maybe they've been there for a while too. And I think for Jordan, I think that's going to be a huge success.